Hey everybody, it's Jewelyn. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my home here in Santa Monica, California. Welcome to one of my favorite series on the channel that I put out on a quarterly basis, my top 10 series. I have over 200 plus plants in my collection, so it's very hard for me to just narrow it down to 10. So I like to break it down in 3 categories: houseplants, cacti, and succulents. In today's episode, I am going to be talking about my top 10 succulent babies currently living in my collection. This is a very fun video for me, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. And if you guys have any of the succulent babies that I do mention in today's video, let me know down in the comments below. And also, if you know any of their IDs, please help me out in the comments below, because a lot of my plants I definitely do not have any IDs on. So sound off down below, and welcome to my favorite series. So let's go ahead and talk about them one at a time. I'm heading to Las Vegas tonight after work, so it's definitely a very busy day for me, but I could not pass up not doing my top 10 series today. With the weather warming up and springtime officially here, I definitely wanted to go ahead and do my top 10 series before I head to Las Vegas. Also, side note, there is construction happening next door, so don't mind the background noise. But if I don't film this now, this video will never get up. First baby I want to talk about is my beautiful silver dollar vine. So this particular plant is really cool. It is slow growing. I featured this on my channel before. I'm pretty sure this was in my last top 10. This has been in my collection for a while. As you can see, it's in a cute owl planter. I love the aesthetic. It's a very charming whimsical vibe. This plant is very slow growing. And it's very fragile, so once you plant this thing up, you definitely don't want to have to replant it in the future unless you need to. As you can see, there is a couple coins that fell out, but I'm hoping that it will just propagate itself. I will go ahead, and I see one of them here. I'll stick the ends of this one in water and I'll keep you guys posted. This plant is on the rare side. It is not a common plant. I do see it from time to time at different nurseries in different cities, but for the most part, this is not a common plant. So if you are a plant enthusiast, collector, and don't have this one, I highly recommend it. It's such a fun plant, very conversational type piece, and you know, it just speaks for itself. How cool, right? This particular plant will live in my top 10 series as long as I have it. This is kind of like the go-to plant for me when it comes to succulents. I love the traily type plants, and you'll see that as a trend in my collection when I talk about my plants that I really adore. But sound off down below, guys. Do you have the silver dollar vine, and is it a common plant where you live? How big is yours? I know there was one silver dollar vine that I seen in Santa Barbara that was really big and stunning. If I didn't have this plant, I would have probably purchased it, but this plant is not cheap. It is expensive. I know the one nursery I seen in Arizona was fairly cheap. If I can remember, there was a bunch of them, but I didn't buy the plant because I already had it. But if you come across this plant, I highly recommend it. Very easy, slow growing, so you just have to be patient with it. But I love its whimsical vibe to it. Sound off down below, what are your thoughts on the silver dollar vine? Alright, so here's a fun one. This is my bear paw. I actually got this as a free plant in my Long Beach haul, which is about 30 something miles south of me. There's a really cool nursery out there. You could come with me, so if you haven't watched the episode, go ahead and check it out. My succulent collection is pretty big, guys. You see, like, I have a little succulent shelf here, and it kind of goes throughout my space in my patio. Why do I love the bear paw? Well, first of all, it's fuzzy, and how can you not pass up something that looks like a bear paw? This thing is so cute. I know in the nursery in San Juan Capistrano, they also called it a kitten's paw. Sound off down below if you have a bear paw plant in your collection. These, for me, are slow growing. As you can see, there is some small growth happening here, but for the most part, you have to be patient. These little growths came after I purchased the plant, but other than that, I have nothing bad to say. This thing lives on my shelf right there behind me, and I love looking at it as I go in and out of my space. This is such a fun plant to have, so if you're looking to add a succulent to your collection and haven't come across this guy, I highly recommend it. I just love the dimension of the plant, and I just love the cute fuzzy paws on it. So cute. And this is actually my second bear paw. I do have a variegated one and another one like this. It's an all green, smaller behind me. But the reason why I chose this one out of the 3 that I do have is because of the size of it. When I seen this one, I was like, whoa, this is way bigger than the ones I have. And I will do that. I will bring home plants in my collection that I already have. If the size is different, one leaf is different, it doesn't matter. if something calls to me, I have to get it. So I love seeing the little bear paws shooting up. If you can see that, I'll keep you guys posted. This is probably gonna make my March pot of fame because of all of the new growth. But shout out to my little bear paw for making it in today's top 10. All right, so a newly acquired plant, as I talk about Santa Barbara, is going to be my variegated string of pearls. Why? Because this has definitely been a dream plant of mine. Stay tuned, I will go ahead and plant it up. I just haven't figured out what I want to plant it up in, because once I plant it, I don't want to have to retransplant it anytime soon. Variegated babies do take a while to grow, so I'll keep you guys posted on the growth. I would like to see this in a white planter. So I have to check out my collection and see what I have as far as for planters goes. Sound off down below if you have a variegated string of pearls and how big is yours. Do you have long trails? Here's my longest trail here, which I think is so cute. I'm kind of curious to see how long it's gonna take to trail super long on me, because it's variegation, it is slow growing, but I will be patient and I'll keep you guys posted. Sound off down below if you have a variegated string of pearls. This is a rare plant, guys. So when I came across this in person, I could not pass it up. I should have bought another one so I could have a fuller planter. I could not pass up today's episode on not having this new baby as part of my top 10. It definitely stole my heart right away. Shout out to my variegated string of pearls for making it so quickly in my top 10 series. And you're not even in a planter, so just imagine that, guys. Stay tuned for upcoming planting with Jewelyn. So let's go ahead and talk about baby number 4. This is my cute and whimsical charming Echeverria, which lives on my Tiffany blue table. This is probably my favorite Echeverria I have in my collection. I do have a lot. I love its whimsical charming vibe to it. As you can see, all of the babies just spewing out in every single direction you can think of. How fun is that? Sound off down below, guys, if you have this particular Echeverria. And how long have you had yours? How big is it? I would like to see this whole thing filled up, so I'll keep you guys posted. I see a lot of like aerial roots here. If you take a look here, you can see some aerial roots popping through, so very easy to propagate, I imagine. But I don't want to touch this plant. I love how it's just like cascading in different directions. Catherine also got one too. So shout out to one of my newest babies for making it in today's top 10. Number 5, another dream plant of mine, my string of dolphins. I am a huge Senecio fan. You'll see the Senecios do pop up in today's episode quite often, more than once. I'm a huge fan of Senecios. You'll see I mentioned Senecios more than once in today's episode. I see a lot of aerial roots, and actually I gifted Catherine a cutting of this and it rooted up quite easily on her in water. So if I wanted to go ahead and make more babies, I could propagate it. And this would be like a really good one to do. I'll probably go ahead and feature this particular plant in my propagation video, propagating from my collection. I'll do that quite soon. I love doing that for the channel. But let me know down in the comments below, guys, do you have a string of dolphins and how big is yours? Is there a lot of trails happening? As you can see, mine is doing pretty good for being a newly acquired plant in the collection. Again, these are 2 plants I put together in one. I loved it so much, I wanted it fuller. Abby's going crazy right now. I don't know what she's doing. If you have this Senecio, let me know down in the comments below. Do you love collecting Senecios? I do, and I would definitely do a Jewelyn's collective featuring all of my Senecios. But this is probably like my most favorite one. Sound off down below your thoughts on the string of dolphins. Do you see this quite often where you live? For me, this is a definite rare succulent to come across. So when I got this in person, I just could not pass it up. I got this particular succulent from a nursery in Bellflower, California, which is pretty far from me. So when I came across the plant, it's been on my wish list for a while. I got 2 and I put it together in one, and I love the fullness of this plant. I'll keep you guys posted on this particular Senecio. Love this one so much. So that was 5. I'm gonna have to bring up this guy here. So this is my biggest, newest baby in my collection. And this was actually a rescue, guys. Like, look at this. How stunning is that? It's in a planter that I had for a while from Home Goods, Las Vegas. The blooms are so cool. I can't wait to see it fully bloom on me. This is probably the biggest calancho that I do have in my collection. Oh, and I see why Abby's going crazy. There's 2 squirrels fighting in my tree. Abby, it's okay, honey. Abby does not like squirrels, but there's 2 squirrels fighting in the tree. I think they live in this tree because I see them quite often. Back to plants. Let me know your thoughts on this particular rescue. Again, this was part of my $15 bundle with a bunch of other succulents. I can't believe it, because this thing will probably retail in a boutique store easily for $35. So this was a definite steal. And I cannot believe I just got this, and it just made it so quickly in the top 10. But I could not pass it up, because why? It is fuzzy. And I have this in the beginning entrance of my patio. It's definitely a statement piece, and I'm so glad I was able to rescue it. I got this from a plant nursery in Buena Park, which is 40 miles away from me, so definitely not around the corner, but a very fun find. And if you haven't watched the Plant Adventures with Catherine, you can see us rescue this and plant it up in this planter. Oh, okay, that was so heavy. That was baby number 6. Number 7, I'm gonna have to give it up to this one here. I love this so much. I should buy more of these planters because it works really well with cacti and succulents. I'm gonna have to go back to downtown LA and get more. This is one of my newest babies that I recently got. I can't believe it, because in my cacti edition, the Ripsalis I got from this nursery also made it in top 10. I think that's so crazy. So this is from a nursery that I went to in Fallbrook, California, which is in between here and San Diego, so very far from me. This is a Crested Aeonium, like in a sunburst kiwi variegation. I love this thing so much, guys. Like, look at the dimension and detail. I always see this plant from time to time. I've seen this plant recently at the Pasadena Roseville Flea Market, as well as in another nursery in San Diego. I've been looking at this plant for a good minute. I can't believe I got it, and I think it looks so stunning in this white planter. Sound off down below, guys, if you love crested Echeverias. I'm a sucker for anything crested and variegated, so I definitely want to go ahead and give a shout out to this one. And look, the area roots is like a little long eyelash. Like, how cute is that? Do you guys have this particular Crested Echeverria? How old do you think this is? This particular plant nursery, she had so much. She propagates for like 30 years now, she told me. So I could not pass up taking one home. I'm so glad I have it, and I can't believe all of these new babies are stealing my heart so quickly, because my collection is so big. It's so interesting for me to pick the top 10 for today's video, because a lot of them are fairly new to my collection, which is so strange, because my collection is pretty big, guys. So shout out to the new babies stealing my heart. I'll give it one more spin because there's so much dimension to this. A lot of characteristics. I think this one needs a name. Sound off down below, guys. What do you think I should name her? She's so pretty. So that was 5, 6, 7. I have 3 more, guys. 3 more spots. So now I'm narrowing it down to 3 babies. It's just so hard for me. I'm gonna have to do some trailing ones. You guys know I love Senecio. This is my trailing like crazy string of bananas. Look at this. This thing lives on the side of this particular setup here behind me, my DIY plant stand. And I want to give a shout out to it because it was not looking like this when I bought it. It was kind of like dying, struggling, and then it came back to life. It's happy where it lives on the side of this plant stand as the squirrels fight in my tree. Oh my goodness, and Ebby's in the backyard. She is not giving up on the squirrel, guys. They're still fighting in the tree. She's in the backyard. But this particular string of bananas is my second set of string of bananas. My original one was super full. It died. I got another one, and actually it was fuller than this. It was like slowly dying, and then it came back, guys. So I'm gonna have to give this one a shout out. So much growth. Take a look at that. I'm definitely not gonna change the location of where this plant is living. It lives on the side of this DIY plant stand, so every time I come in my home I can see it just covering the whole side of the plant stand. Like, how super fun is this plant? Do you guys have the string of bananas? How full is it? Again, I could repurchase string of bananas anytime. It is a common succulent where I can go ahead and fill up the whole planter. I think what I'm gonna do now that it's like long and healthy, because I didn't want to stress it out too much, I can go ahead and propagate it. As you can see, there are a lot of aerial roots here. So I will propagate this particular plant in my next propagation video, propagating from my collection, so that I can go ahead and fill up the planter and make it nice and even. So that's going to be a very fun project for this string of bananas. Now, if you thought the string of bananas was really cool, then you're going to have to appreciate this one. This is my Cielo Jacobi, my trailing jade. I love this thing, and this thing will turn in like a purple hueish color. You guys seen there was a bunch of them in the Reseda nursery. I see it all the time in different plant nurseries, just in beautiful hues of purple. Mine's is living in the sun. I'm hoping maybe this summer it might turn a little bit more purple on me, but for now it is all green. Catherine and I got ours the same time in West Hollywood. It's living in a terracotta macrame setup. I am totally loving the vibes of this plant. Sound off down below if you have one of these. This plant is like a 50-50 plant for me, meaning like sometimes I see it at plant retail spaces and sometimes I don't. So I guess it all depends where you live. This could be a rare plant, but when I seen this in West Hollywood, I could not pass it up. So Catherine and I got the plant at the same time. Hers lives in her bathroom. If you look at her plant tour that I featured on my channel, you can see how hers is doing. So here's an update on mine's doing super good. And again, I could easily propagate this plant if I wanted to too, but I love the cascading effect. There's a lot of aerial roots here, so you can see where it'd be so easy to propagate from. But I'm gonna continue to keep an eye on this plant. I definitely want to keep the fullness of this plant, so I will not be propagating from this one, but I would definitely like to see it turn more purple on me. So we'll see. I may have to change the location of the plant. It does live on my fenced side of my patio where it gets the most sun. But stay tuned, and shout out to my beautiful Cielo Jacobi, my trailing jade, for making it in today's video. I'm gonna end number 10 as the squirrels, they're still fighting in my tree, guys. I have my biggest, I think this is my biggest succulent I might have in my collection. This is going to be my last baby in today's video. This is my string of hooks. Guys, like look at this. I'm gonna have to stand so you can see all of its trails. Look at this. Isn't this crazy? So I have this thing living on my DIY hanging system in my patio, and it touches the ground, guys. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this thing. This thing is so long and lush, and I am living for the fullness of this plant. I don't want to propagate from it. I could definitely propagate from it really easily. There's a lot of aerial roots on this plant, but I love the fullness and trails of this thing. But who knows, I might go ahead and propagate it for my propagation video in the future. But for now, I am loving all of its long, luscious trails. I've never had a Senecio trail on me so much. This Senecio is such a giving plant. I think out of all of my Senecios, this one trails the most for me. I believe I got this from, I want to say Pasadena Rose Bowl Flea Market, if I can remember. This is such a very fun Senecio to have, so if you guys are looking for one, this one is on the common side, so I'm pretty sure you would be able to find it wherever you do your plant shopping. It's for the most part wherever I do my Come With Me series. The Senecio fish hooks, string of hooks, is pretty common. It lives in a terracotta macrame setup. It lives full-time in my patio, but this is definitely a show-stopping plant. I could not pass up not wrapping up today's episode with my string of hooks. That was really fun to do, guys. I will keep you guys posted on all of its growth. I know a bunch of them will be featured on March Pot of Fame because they're doing so well, and it's kind of crazy to see a bunch of my new plant babies just take a spot right away. As you see, my collection is very big, so stay tuned for updates. Let me know down in the comments below what was your favorite succulent that I featured in today's video. So let's go ahead and talk about today's giveaway and the rules. So like all of my giveaways, you have to be subscribed to this channel, I Love Jewelyn, and my vlog channel, Miss Jewelyn. I do lots of cool vlogs on that channel, so if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do so. Right now I have my Egypt travel content up there for my Travel with Jewelyn series, which is really fun. And also be following me on Instagram, my main account _ I Love Jewelyn, and my plant account, Planting with Jewelyn. As far as for YouTube, you have to have your profile public so that I can go ahead to see that you're subscribed to both of my channels. If not, I won't be able to check that. Also, let me know in the comments below where you live, country, city, state, and what is your favorite current succulent in your collection. And if you don't have any succulents, what would be your #1 dream succulent to have? I'd love to know in the comments below. I will be picking a winner 1 week from the time this video goes live. I will be announcing it on my plant Instagram, and I will reach out to you in a direct message. All of the giveaway rules will be in the description box down below, so go ahead and check that out. So let's go ahead and talk about the giveaway. I'm going to be giving away something that no matter where you are, whether you're in my country or abroad, I'm able to ship this out to you. And you guys know how much I love cute planters. So here is a set of animal planters that I've been like pretty much shopping and hoarding them for giveaways. So these are 3 that I want to give away to 1 lucky person. So go ahead and follow all of the rules. I have a blue fox, purple owl, and an elephant. You guys know I'm a sucker for animal planters, especially anything elephant or owl related. But look at this, guys. It's like Tiffany blue, my favorite color. How cute is that? Here's one little last look on them, and they're so cute, guys. I mean, just the detailing on them is adorable. All I ask is that whoever wins the giveaway, please send me a picture with plant babies planted up in them so I can go ahead and share it on the channel. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. I hope you found today's episode really fun. I will do this top 10 series on a quarterly basis because, as you can see, my plant collection grows by the week, and it's so fun to sit down and talk plants with you guys and see what's kind of trending as far as my favorites, because they do change every day. I love each and every one of them. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. If you're new, welcome. I do daily videos on this channel. There's hundreds of videos on this channel. I currently have, I think, over 400 videos, guys, to inspire you. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Hit the bell and subscribe button to be notified on my daily uploads. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on today's very fun episode. I had so much fun highlighting 10 of my babies currently living in my collection that stole my heart for today's episode. So stay tuned for upcoming Planting with Jewelyns, because I have a bunch of new plants that do not have planters that were featured in today's video. If you guys enjoyed this video, sound off down below. You can find more on my blog at ilovejewelyn.blogspot.com. Until next time, aloha from Santa Monica, California. Bye!